Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I've been out of town for a little bit, so I missed last month's market update. I believe I don't think I sent one out for August, but we're back in town now. I've been back for about a week, and I've had a chance to look over everything. So I want to give you guys a quick market update for the greater Tampa Bay area. So if you look, if you watch TV, mainstream media, most of it is going to tell you that we're having a soft landing in real estate, that the market that is what you're seeing is the pullback and they don't expect anything further. If you go on YouTube and depending on where you read or get a lot of your information from, that's not mainstream, you will there's a completely different opinion in regards to the real estate market. A lot of those channels are saying that there's going to be major pullbacks, and we're looking at, some of them say we're looking at the 2006, 2007, 2008 style uh, price reductions. It's not. I don't know who's right. You never do. So it's just one thing that is for certain is that people are really bad at predicting these things, and they usually are wrong. So I like to use the example of during the coronavirus in 2020. They said that the market was going to, from that moment forward, was going to be taking a dive. The mainstream media said that it was going to be selling off, and they were completely wrong about that. So it's hard to say who's right, who's wrong, but it's better just to look at what's going on, and you can take an evaluation of what's going on month by month, and you can get a good idea of what's going on, at least locally, in this market that we're in the greater Tampa Bay area. And the truth of the matter is that most places, even mainstream or a lot of the sources you might read on online and YouTube, they're not looking at just one specific area. They're not dialed into Tampa Bay. They're looking at things all over the United States. So they're taking it as a whole in the nation as a whole, where it's not that. It's real estate is very localized, and sometimes it even can be broken down to zip codes, which I'll show you here in a minute. But anyways, we're on Readventure app, and this is a great app for getting this information. Highly recommended if you're an investor or looking into getting just more information on the real estate market. I look at this website all the time, and it's just a great tool. So, anyways, I want to start here with inventory growth year over year. So this is gonna all these. This is Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, Pasco County, Hernando County, Manatee County. And this is the inventory growth year over year. So this is comparing September 2022 to September 2023. And what you see here is that Hillsborough County had a reduction in inventory, whereas Pinellas County had a 15.3% increase in inventory. Pasco had an 8% reduction in inventory. Hernando County had a 15% reduction in inventory, and Manatee County had a 19% increase in inventory. So if there's ever some confusing data, that is confusing as it gets, because you got Pinellas County, who's a very large county, going up, almost equal to what Hillsborough County is inventory wise, going down. And then some of these other counties are also, Manatee County is about the size of Pasco and Hernando County combined, and Hernando Pasco inventory levels are going down, and Manatee County inventory levels are going up. So what the heck is going on? The the thing with the real estate market is that the more inventory increases you have and the time on market that the inventory sits there, you typically will see more price reductions. That's just the way it goes. So when I see these numbers about inventory growth and uh, and it being all over the place, to me it's more like a consolidation. There's it doesn't the real estate market is just kind of going sideways when I see this. That's what I think of it, and which is what's happening for the most part. I'm not seeing major price reductions yet, but let's look at that. So let's see, price cuts. Okay, so hang on, I want to look at something else first. Uh, let's go to days on market. Days on market year over year. So here's a interesting thing. Hernando County days on market up 10%. Pasco County days on market down 2.5%. Hernando County days on market 1%. Pinellas County days on market up 4%. Manatee County days on market up 20%. That's a lot. So, and you see some of these outer areas, Citrus, Sumter, Winter Haven, they have a lot of days on market over there as well. So that's a interesting thing. Let's see what else we got. Price cut percentage. So what you see here is lots of price cuts. So these are important. So every single county has massive price cuts. So you got in all of our counties, over 25% of all the homes on the market are taking price cuts. So Manatee, Hillsborough is taking almost 31% of and all the listings are taking price cuts. Almost 33% in Pinellas County. Pasco County, almost 28 or almost 30%. Hernando County is almost at 25%. So let's see what else we got here. Uh, Home value growth year over year. Okay, so now it's starting to make a little bit more sense. Hernando County overall prices from September 2022 through September 2023 are down 2.9%. That's comparing 2022 September 2022 to September 2023. So Hernando County down 3%, Pasco County down 2%, Hillsborough County down 2%, Manatee County down 2%, and uh, Pinellas County basically no price reduction there. It's just basically stagnant. So what you see here basically to me is that all the indicators prices are going down slowly, but this is 2.1%, which I know the last video we did they were at 1%. So if you get, I mean, hypothetically, if the month over month, let's see what month over month is doing. Let's see monthly. Where's it at? Here we go. Oh, oh, it's not there. Hold on one second. Here we go. Home value growth month over month. So it looks like they actually went up a little bit in September, month over month. So from August to September, it looks like there's a little bit of a bump in the month over month prices. So it's a little bit confusing. But the what I see here, just to sum this up, is what you have 25% of all the homes on the market are having price reductions, 25% minimum and up. So 25% to about 33% are having price reductions in in all our in all of our counties. Number two, there is price reductions year over year in every single county except for Pinellas County, which is basically going sideways and has no price reductions, but is not increasing year over year. And then the third factor is that the inventory levels are all over the place. So in some areas you have inventory that is going up and inventory that is going down. So let's see that one more time right here. So yeah, this is what is keeping real estate from going down right here. So you got two of three indicators that are pointing in our area for real estate to go down. However, the problem is inventory. So you got inventory drops, inventory increases in Pinellas County, but drops. So Pinellas and Manatee County have inventory increases, whereas Hernando, Pasco, and Hillsborough have inventory decreases year over year. So what it means is that if more inventory comes on the market for whatever reason, could be unemployment rate goes up and more people are forced to sell. It could be that investors that bought during 2020 through 2021 or 2022, they have to sell because of uh, they're doing Airbnbs, it didn't work out, or they're not getting the money they want. They could go buy a treasury, which just came out today at 5%, and they can make 5%. So they decide that they want to sell and just invest their money elsewhere. If any of that comes to fruition and inventory levels start to go up, then you're going to definitely see more price reductions. You're going to see more time on market because there's going to be more competition and less buyer. There's going to be more homes available to the low amount of buyers that are in the market right now. And interest rates just crossed 8% or hit 8% right on the dot. And the buyer demand is just super low. So, I mean, if the inventory levels go up, this is primed for some pretty major price reductions. That's what I'm looking at here. But that won't happen until we get more inventory. So when we get more inventory, if that even happens, I'm not sure. But for now, it looks like what's going to happen is that they're going to the inventory levels. If they stay this way, prices will go down very, very slowly, slowly, slowly. They'll just trickle down, which is what's happening. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, if inventory levels like this in Hillsborough County, if we look at this in October and we got uh, inventory levels going down in Pinellas, inventory levels going down in Manatee, down in Pasco, and down in Hernando, if the inventory levels continue to decrease, and it's going to be difficult for the prices to really come down like people want towards an affordable level for people that are working locally here. But it's just not there yet. So we got to see how things play out. There's not a, and the way it's really working right now is that people, I mean, if you owned a house right now and you had a 2 or 3% interest rate on your mortgage payment, you're not going to jump in or jump out and sell this house just to jump into something that's comparable and pay a 8% mortgage. You're just not going to do that. It doesn't make any sense. The only way that that happens is if you have to, you lose your job or something else goes wrong. People have to sell for whatever reason. And that is where the inventory would come from, but we haven't seen that yet. So we'll see what happens, but that's the nature of the market at the moment. And just for some extra information, in case you guys are renting, we can look at some stuff real quick. Let's look at these also break down to zip codes. So you can see here that not all of this is predicated on the entire county. Some of this stuff where the price drops and the inventory levels are reducing is very specific to zip codes. So you can see here this is over by Town and Country, downtown Tampa. You see prices, inventory levels reduce over here in Brandon and Riverview. But let's see where the price reductions are coming from. If we can get it on this, let's see. So home value growth. You can also see where areas where people are still buying, and some of these areas are going up in value. Dunedin, Palm Harbor, Tarpon Springs is stagnant, down in value on Clearwater Beach, down in value down Madeira Beach, Reddington Beach, all the beaches. I mean, look at this, St. Pete Beach, and this has to do with flood insurance costs, which have gone through the roof. So that's expected. But over this area here, this is kind of a zone where there's a lot of condos and townhomes. People invest in this area so they can shoot over to Tampa and work, or they can shoot down to St. Pete and work without any issues. But look at this down here. I mean, these are bad. This is where a lot of new builds are at, all in Riverview. All these areas are taking a big hit on price on prices because there's so many new builds and they're competing with the used inventory. So this area, I expect in the future, will drag the whole area of Tampa Bay down. But I mean, if you're not looking at there, I mean, if you're looking to move somewhere over in Lutz, it's a totally different neighborhood over there. So it's real important to look at the zip codes too. Pasco County, it's all pretty much stagnant except for you know, these few areas here, which is going to be Land O'Lakes, some of Wesley Chapel. Prices are down, but these areas over here, prices are pretty much stabilized. So that's the general area zip code wise. And then, if you guys are looking to, in case you're an investor on here, let's take a look at the investor cap rates. So, I mean, this is why people aren't buying if they're an investor. You get a 3.5% cap rate, and the U.S. Treasury just came out at 5%. So if you're looking at this and you're an investor, this is why we talk about investors potentially selling. Some of these areas are okay, 7.3, 7.5, 5.8, 6.4, but I can just cruise around here and you can see this one's the highest I've seen, 7, 4, 3, 8. There we go, 8.3. That's Holiday. So it's not too bad. 8.6, that's Port Richey. Here's Weekawachi, 4.3. The thing is that Tampa, it's not a great area in Tampa, 8.4. See something, 9.1. There we go. That's East Tampa, though. So, Ybor City area. Not so sure about that. So, the way that investors work is cap rates need to be at 10%. That's the minimum for an investor to want to buy a house. Like they run their numbers. If they can get 10% on a cap rate, then it's worth it. Because a treasury, if you buy a treasury bond, you're putting your money in, you're getting a 5% return. Buying a real estate home or property, it comes with risk, a lot more risk than it does just putting your money in treasury. So you take on a risk. You take on bad tenants. You take on property damage. You take on flood insurance, potential storms. All that stuff comes into play. So a 10% cap rate is about where the minimum is for them. And there's nothing in our entire area that gives you a 10% cap rate. Nothing. So I don't see any investors really pouring into our area, at least retail wise, unless the prices come down. And in this cap rate, if prices come down, the cap rates will go up. So that's where it's at right now. So I mean, rental rates are up crazy high. You can see that. I mean, everybody knows that. So, but they are starting to come down a little bit. So, anyways, that's the nature of the market. It's speculative. We need more inventory. If more inventory comes on, then we can definitely expect that if inventory comes on and we still see time on market the way it is, if we still see interest rates super high, if we still see price reductions that we're seeing, and all of a sudden inventory starts to really come on the market, then you're really going to see some price reductions. Just no telling when that's going to be, but I'll be keeping an eye on the inventory, and I'll be back with a new video on this next month. But also, if you need us for anything, please reach out anytime. We're happy to help, and we are excited for this year. It's been a pretty good year, and we're doing some pretty good work out there. So if you need anything, reach out anytime. And I just want to thank you all for your business, and we'll see you soon.